Meanwhile, Hollywood is Satan's playground. I'm sorry. Like, I was spit all over you.
Every single one of you is responsible.
Take responsibility. You're promoting this movie.
Sacrilege is not good business.
Lettuce movie. Hollywood is Satan's playground.
Yeah, Hollywood is Satan's playground. Sacrilege is not good business.
Wrong. This movie is the example. I would be shown at the Satan's playground.
Sacrilege is not good business.
That's right. It's not good business. Porn equals porn! 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 Porn equals porn!
To figure out.
I'm a little disguised in it.
Yeah.
I definitely get something ripped off.
Okay.
Now do you remember?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Did you see it as well?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
That was one of my favorite parts.
Was it?
Yeah.
See, I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't? Okay.
No.
So when you, I guess, you know, without giving anything away, can you talk about a little bit about sort of stunts like that maybe are a little body horror-esque challenges of that?
I mean, it just took a long time to figure out the right way to shoot it, and trusting Mia. Very much so trusting Mia.
And talk about, have you seen the other two before? Were you a fan of Ty?
I hadn't seen them prior to shooting, and I watched the trailers immediately on getting the job, and I was like, these are way too cool for me to, you know, psych myself out before I stepped into the role. But it was also so different from the other two. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Pulp Fiction and Wizard of Oz thrown into a blender or something.
I love that comparison. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Nice
Have a
meeting
good
you.
night. Nice to meet you too.
About what drew you to the project.
I'm sorry?
Tell me a little bit about what drew you to the project.
The cast and Ty and the other two
Figured it out.
work hard.
Nice to meet her.
Did you meet Mia?
Yes, I did get to meet her. We did our makeup together, or we got our makeup done together for reference, of course. But also
No, she's super nice. This is our entertainment.
Oh, hey, nice to meet you, Alex. So you're
Deadline, yeah.
Got it. You're waiting there. I'm going to hang out here until things are going. I'm going to pretend I'm cold. You're right. Just a tiny bit. Thank you. Yeah, maybe after party.
So everybody's asking me about what he's doing, and I'm like, no.
Let me see how you do it. And then because I dropped it into the school, I went to a by myself. It was so good. It's amazing. And then I happened to do that. Everyone just look at me. I get a microphone.
And I'm like, I think I'm a my whole like family.
Yeah, there's always something.
I'm like, I feel yeah. Yeah. I had Juneteenth. That's kind of nice. And she lives not on her book. She was? She's known everything. Because she knew I was about that.
I have been. Everyone comes up for a hug, and I'm like, let's fist bump. Let's go back to COVID for a second.
So excited.
He just recorded for it.
And he's like, why am I not on it? And I was like, I have no idea.
I mean, I'm still going through it real time. So it's, yeah, I don't know. It's exciting. You know, it's nothing like the other movies, so it's hard to kind of give them a sense of it without them seeing it. But, you know, it's evolution. And I was happy to see people react as people different movie altogether. So yeah, I mean, thematically, like the mission and the main things, that's all very relevant to the movie. But yeah.
Like they're putting his real name.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And also, you have to kind of read the room.
And that's the group right up in here. So Sakura over here. Okay, one more smile.
This is quite the scene. It's hilarious.
All the way down.
Is that Catherine and Cole?
And that beautiful smile right here. There you go.
Okay.
One other suit.
Is Ty not coming back? I just saw him. I feel like maybe he
Kevin, eyes all the way down here.
Well, I mean, the movie takes place in 1985, and you know, a lot of
You know, it was this.
The other one?
The other one.
Is there another one? That's the only one I've read.
There's two. But I can't remember. Anyways, maybe it was Touching the Big Fish.
The audiobook is the way to go.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you like get all the.
Yeah.
But he talked about sort of like working on Wild at Heart and showing a screening to the audience, and they rushed out because of a scene in it, and they ended up having to change it. All I had to say, I was curious if there were any parts that were like you had to change because or push back against like not being able to get bloody enough.
Weirdly, no. I mean, there's one scene in particular in this movie that I'm sort of amazed. Really got no problem. I mean, I think that MPA has always been fair with me, and I think because the spirit of the movie is not like nihilistic. You know, it's like the movie definitely is gory and it definitely has some crazy stuff happening in it, but it's kind of in the spirit of going to the movies to see it. So the one scene in particular that I'm sure you know what I'm talking about is it would be so tragic for it not to be in the movie. So I think that they did me a solid, and it's sure to get a big reaction.
And I was thinking about sort of all the meta remarks about sequels in particular and how they're usually really bad. Did you think about sort of like making sequels and how to avoid making them bad?
No, and I mean not all sequels are bad, but it is difficult. It's difficult to take an idea and then extend it and have it be as good as it was because maybe you ran out of what was good about it. You know, I mean, part of with this trilogy is that each movie is a different story, and it's the same characters, but it's a very different world, a very different style, and so that kind of gives it a chance to be refreshing and to feel like not like you've seen the same thing. Even when making this movie, if anything in the movie started to feel too much like the other movies, you kind of lost some of your interest in it because you were like, I've already seen this movie. So for us, it was always about just reinventing things.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ty.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm here.
I know. Yeah. No way. Yeah. Where I was, and I was like, it's gonna be me, something good's gonna happen to me, you know? It's actually all, accent on and talking together. There's a lot of like athletics and definitely more like the old era, like real time, like like late 70s, early 80s Cher, you know what I mean? For big hair, like the silhouette. Grace Jones in the face, you know? It's kind of like looking for those divas who were turning the time and then instead of just catching up to the ages, you know? Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
It's absolutely pleasure. They're big, very judicious.
The ones that jump to mind immediately are Portrait Lady on Fire. I have still in the movie Tattooing. So it's my favorite frame from the film, and I just love it so much.
Classic.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The one thing I can tell you is that she definitely did not die first, like mine. You know, I mean, you know. Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
Oh wow, you're doing it all.
Great. It's great to be here.
Well, I enjoy it.
It's just really proud.
This is the first time I got this. Yeah, I mean, Leon, I was really drawn to because he's really alternative. He's skater. It's kind of crazy, honestly. Well, next
Trilogy, and yeah, I just think you're brilliant and everything. So talk to me a little bit about you and Ty at this point. You really have a relationship. Can you talk about sort of the nature of how you collaborate with one another?
Yeah, it's interesting because the way that we've worked together has evolved as we've gone through these 3 movies, and I would say that now that we're on the 3rd one of the trilogy, he doesn't really direct me so much anymore. It's more like guardrails, you know, so I'll kind of come to set and I'll do what I think that works, and sometimes it's way off and he's like, no, you kind of need to come back to the center a little bit. Then I'll do something else, change the pitch of it a little bit, I guess, and then that feels right, and then, you know, we have such a shorthand with one another. He's my collaborator, but he's also my friend, and we know each other very well now. And I think that ultimately, that only helps the world.
I love that. And then there's I like the allusions in the movie about like how sequels are often bad and like kind of this, but this one is obviously not that. Can you talk a little bit about how you prevent a sequel from being bad?
Wow.
I think one of the most important things to do is to not think about the reception of it. Is to approach it in the same way that you did the first one. With nothing but love and excitement and inspiration.
And then talk to me a little bit about, I know, there's those allusions to, Elizabeth talks about sort of the killer but not a villain. Is there something like that you kind of relish of being a woman who's like, it feels like men have always sort of got to have that role,
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons why I love this genre so much, is because it really allows for these female characters to blossom in ways that is more difficult to come across in other genres at times. And I really love, having the chance to sink my teeth into the work.
Yeah, and then to wrap up, Mia, I was curious.
Come on, I feel like we got dressed together. Come on. You look good.
It's like the dumbest.
I mean, I love being on set with you.
We didn't work together.
She's amazing in the film. Everyone is
Everyone
great.
is very interesting. Oh, no, she's not. She's gone again.
I want to do something new, different. I'm not saying it's a big screen movie, but also has music coming out. This one has moving forward.
Thank you. You were so great in the film.
Thank you. I love when people say that I was great in the film.
I'm sure you do. Were you a fan of the trilogy or the first two?
I was a fan of the first two. Yeah, I was particularly a fan of Earl, and like what a rich role. I can't believe I ended up somehow in the third one.
And I love. It's funny that you're saying I love when people say they like it, and I do think that this kind of it's a very meta movie about Hollywood and egos and ambition and all of these things. Is there like kind of a catharsis to doing something that feels so on the nose?
Well, I get to be like one of the more humble people in this movie, which is totally my personality. Super humble, definitely really shy. But there's a certain catharsis to being in a movie. It's just healing for me to have cameras on me.
I love that. And talk to me about what it was like working with Mia and sort of your guys' collaboration together.
It was really cool working with Mia. I had to like learn how to be really comfortable with someone really quickly because I play her best friend in the movie, and she was really good about wanting to get to know me and wanting to actually like build a connection outside of shooting, and that really helps establish something. And every day on set, I would just be like, okay, I gotta really like sit up straight because Mia, when those cameras are rolling, does not play.
I love it. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I thought what was so cool about this is you kind of got to say things about Hollywood that maybe like you probably otherwise wouldn't. That maybe aren't very true.
Right. That's accurate. Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about, I think the film kind of plays with the idea of horror sort of being trashy and people kind of seeing it as looking down on it. Is that something you kind of think about and sort of the genre in general?
I've never done a horror movie because I'm scared of things, so I don't like... I've never done a horror movie because I always thought that if something ran at me, I would keep running, so it would really scare me. I have a very reactive nervous system, so, but, however, something I have noticed in sort of since the dawn of horror, and one of the reasons I have sought some of them out, and even if I knew it was going to I used to watch the Hereditary or the Babadook, and then Phalanx, is that they are Trojan horses, and they, when they're done well, they give actresses incredible expansive space to play and give us amazing performances, and I really love that about this show.
Yeah, I love that. And playing a director, did it kind of make you think maybe it's in your cards one day?
No, I like playing a fake director that doesn't have to make any decisions. That's fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just knock my way onto the platform to get some things.
Oh, amazing. Oh, great. Yes, you were very welcome. Do you want to send them